I want to start today with asking y'all a couple questions. How many of you would like to do something where you could get exercise, be outdoors, cheaply at your own home? More so than that, you can also lower your energy bills, and it's a simple physical endeavor where you get to see immediate efforts, immediate results. And what I'm talking about today is splitting your own firewood. So fire's got this kind of primordial, thing that sort of evokes a lot of nostalgic feelings in most people. It makes me think of camping and cookouts. Makes me think of the time where I met my wife in the Sierra Nevadas, and we used fires mainly as our main source of heating. So all those things sort of come up to me when I'm making fires in our house where we live now in Knoxville. We have a little wood burning stove, and we really like that a lot. And we would buy wood for a couple seasons, but I started looking into splitting my own wood, and I found out that I really enjoyed it a lot. And so today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that. So the things I did like about it, I like the physicality of it. You go outside for a few hours and you chop some wood, and then you have a big stack of new wood that you can then start seasoning and getting ready for the winter. A couple things with chopping wood, if that's something you want to do. I'm not really going to go into the whole felling of trees, cutting them down, or bucking, cutting them into smaller sized pieces like I have here. But Roy Barrettson has a really good article in Popular Mechanics from October 2018 that goes more into detail on the kind of supplies you would need, what sort of chainsaws are best, and techniques for how to cut down trees and chop them up, get all the limbs, that sort of thing. So a couple other things to know is that when you split your wood is kind of important too. Some types of woods and some trees are easier to split when they're fresh and green, and others you want to kind of dry them out and let them age for a little while, so it just depends. And there's not really any good guidelines as far as I could find, but mostly what I just do is I'll just give a couple soft hits, and if it splits easy, then I'll just start working through it, and if not, then I'll set it aside and I'll come back to it a couple months later and try it out again and see if it starts splitting. And the best time to split wood is usually when it's cold, is the general guideline. So it's been 100 degrees here in Knoxville this week, so not the best time, but it is dry, so that does help out. So for this demonstration, I'm going to be using a 4.5 pound maul. I'll try to get it to where you can see it. If you look, the design of it, the axe kind of tapers out into sort of what looks like a sledgehammer. So that really helps you to split the wood. And there's other things that you can use, little spikes and wedges and stuff like that. But I've never really needed it. This has always been enough for me. And you want a nice pair of gloves. Like I said, this one's 4.5 pounds. They come up to like 8 pounds, is sort of the top range that I could see, but you just want to use whatever's comfortable for you. The main driving force is the speed of the maul, so that's really what you're wanting to look for. Here's
No
my
touch.
daughter Matilda.
No touch.
Here, I'll just keep going, playing on your slide, sweetie. Why don't you pick some peppers? So as far as stacking the wood once it's been cut, you just want good airflow, but you don't really have to spend too much time worrying about stacking it up.
Don't eat it.
So I'll start going into kind of the mechanics of it. So I swing it pretty much the same way I swung a sledgehammer. I sort of pick up on it, use my right hand to kind of throw the weight up straight overhead. Some people will kind of go straight back like that, but I feel like that tires me out, and that's not really what you want to do. So you want to throw it up as high as you can. You want your feet to be, you know, even, spread kind of wide, shoulder width apart. You don't want to have, you know, like a staggered stance, because your lead foot will get in the way, and you don't really want to swing through like that. You could hurt yourself. You want kind of squared stance, and you're going straight down with it. That way, even if you miss your target, you're just gonna, you know, drive the maul into the ground, which isn't really so bad. So when you're looking at your wood, you've got little pieces like this that you don't really even need to worry about splitting. But when you're trying to cut bigger pieces for your fire, you'll have to split those. And you can see this wood is really well seasoned. The bark is all coming off of it. It doesn't weigh very much. So I'm using a nice little chopping block here to help split it. Hey Tillie, can you go show me on the slide? So I found some little seams here that I'm using, and you want to just go overhead and come straight down on it. You don't really have to, you can step back a little bit. You don't really have to do a lot of force. Just take it nice and easy.
Be careful standing right there.
Just kind of get used to it like that, and you want to pick your spot and just aim straight for it.
Homework.
Once you feel a little bit more comfortable with the motion, you can start kind of driving it a little bit harder. Yeah, I'm doing schoolwork. So I'm just going to record this little video, and then I'll be done here in a minute.
Someone's phone.
My phone.
So,
Let me get it.
there you go. And you can just keep cutting them into smaller pieces.
Oh God.
Yeah, and
Where's his shoe?
let's see, maybe I'll change the angle of it here just a little bit. Sometimes it gets tough when the wood curves a little bit. It makes it harder to follow the grain. Yeah, and I realize now I didn't really go into figuring out how far away you want to stand. Eventually it just gets kind of natural, but if you put the axe on the wood and then kind of get a good sense where you just want to take a little half step back, and that should be just the right distance to where you'll be striking. Show you that again. All right. Like I said, it's pretty safe. You know, you're going straight down with the maul. So I mean, even if I miss, I'll try to set it up here so I can miss. Even if I were to miss, it's just going to go into the block there or something. One thing you do want to be mindful of is sort of off to the sides, like where the camera is sort of the dangerous area. So just be aware of that. that's kind of, he'll go off either side. So if you have bystanders, you don't want them to be in that area. And then this wood we got from a tree that we had cut down, I don't know, maybe a year ago, but you can get firewood pretty easily. A lot of times you just see it on the side of the road, and you could just, you know, pick up a couple rounds on your way to and from work. A lot of commercial places you can buy firewood, and for a discount you could just get unsplit rounds, and so that's another option.
Why did you flip it over?
So yeah, sometimes you'll find ones that are just really tough to split. When they get stuck like that, if you hit down and then up, you can usually. Yeah, this one was just kind of cut at a weird angle, which makes it a little tough. So, you know, you just kind of want to move them around, flip them over, see where you can start to get a good angle on it. Sometimes you have to take, it's hard to see, but instead of going like straight for the center, kind of hit it more off the side, and then once you get it started like that, especially for really thick pieces, once you get the sides off, it makes it a lot easier to split. So there's some problem solving that you do in it, which is fun. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but I've just been kind of taking off the sides of this piece since I wasn't having much luck putting it down the middle, and now it should be a little easier to split. The other thing that's hard to do is when you've got pieces of the tree that bifurcate. Those can be kind of
Bifurcate?
tough to split.
Bifurcate?
Yeah, where the limbs go off in different directions, and you have like a saddle. Stuff like this piece.
I'm gonna set the camera over there because I'm scared.
Stuff like this one. It's hard to, you'll never cut it if you try to hit it right there. So sometimes you have to flip them over, split them on that side, and get them a little smaller. But those ones are always tough. They make you work for them. The other thing you can do if you don't have a chopping block, I'll show you stack them here. If you don't have a chopping block, you can put a piece of wood down put it on there, laying at an angle. Instead of hitting it from the top, you'll just hit it from the side like that. And that works pretty well too in a finish. That said, it is a lot harder to split bigger pieces this way. So if you have bigger pieces, it's easier just to use a chopping block. But this is a little faster on smaller stuff because you don't have to pick it up as high. You can work through smaller things really quickly using this method. So that's a good couple pieces there. We'll just start loading them up. I'll show you how we stack wood over here. Hey Evelyn, can you bring the camera over across the yard real quick? Nice sturdy wheelbarrow helps, but I'm going to go over to our little wood stack over here. Alright, so you can see our little wood stack, and this gives you a good representation of wood at various degrees of seasoning. This wood down here, you can see is like almost gray. Doesn't smell like wood anymore. It's really dried out. But when you're stacking wood, you'll get a lot of little wedges here, and you want to stack them so the wide part of the wedge is up top. If they still have bark on them, that's even better, because then you'll kind of have like shingles where the water will run off of them. It being so wet out here, I usually cover them with a tarp, but in a lot of climates you wouldn't even need to do that. And you know, yeah, we'll have enough wood to last us all winter here pretty soon, and I'll just, once it cools off, I'll start chopping more wood, and yeah, it's just a nice fun way to get some exercise, be outdoors for a little bit. I like it because, you know, every time you come out and do it, you make a little bit of progress, your wood stack gets a little higher, your wood pile gets a little smaller as you chop through it. So that's nice. It's a nice feeling. So just to kind of
How much
sum
wood
up,
did you chop? Do you want to show?
some wood. But so yeah, the main things. There's a lot of good reasons to split your own firewood. You don't really need a lot of supplies. All I have is a maul, which just costs like 20 or 30 bucks, and I get all the exercise out of it I need. You know, you want to have a nice wide stance. You're kind of throwing up and going straight down with it. And speed's the key. You don't really need a lot of power. You just want to move it as fast as possible. You know, bend with the knees, lift with your legs when you're picking the rounds up and moving them about. And then when you're stacking your wood, just make sure you've got good airflow so everything dries out better, and yeah, and you should be good to go. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. I enjoyed teaching it. So thank you very much for watching. All right, thanks. Bye.